شهیدانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور ساتو یې پسرو وینو دا د شهیدانو کور دا
Good evening. We are glad that you are with us. Today is Wednesday, October 30, 2024. You're watching RTA News with me, Suleiman Talash. Mullah Hidayatullah Badri, the Minister of Mines and Petroleum, recently met with Dr. Abdul Bari Umar, the head of the Afghanistan Electricity Company, along with several other officials from Emirate companies and the contractor of the Zindajan cement factory in Herat province. During the meeting, officials from the Ministry of Mines and Petroleum discussed the progress of the cement factory in Herat and opportunities for investment in electricity production from gas resources. Khalilur Rahman Haqqani, the Minister of Refugees and Returnees, met with Maulavi Ziaur Rahman Madani, the Governor of Logar province, and Maulavi Muhammaduddin Saleh, the Provincial Police Chief. During the meeting, they discussed the challenges faced by refugees and internally displaced families in the province. They focused on issues such as providing accommodation, ensuring security, offering economic support, and delivering other essential services. Mullah Abdul Latif Mansoor, the Minister of Energy and Water, met with Manawar Lal, the Deputy Director of Najib Suleiman Company from India, to discuss investment in power production projects. During the meeting, the Deputy Director expressed the company's readiness to invest in power generation projects in Afghanistan. The Minister of Energy and Water welcomed this interest, stating that investment opportunities in Afghanistan are now widely available. Agreements worth $3,228,000 were signed between the Ministry of Industry and Commerce and 9 domestic institutions in the field of entrepreneurship. It has been decided that these institutions will work for the purpose of reaching the poor and unemployed people, along with vocational and professional education. Let's see more in this report.
The latest action of the Ministry of Industry and Commerce for vocational and professional education and the handling of the poor. Agreements worth $3,228,000 were signed between the Ministry and 9 domestic institutions. These 9 internal organizations are supposed to implement their projects with a total value of more than $3,228,000 to strengthen the foundation of families and unemployed people in the society through vocational training and skills in the provinces of Kabul, Parvan, Maidan Wardak, Herat, Balkh, Baghlan, Samangan, Faryab, Nimroz, Jawzjan, and Badghis. According to him, Nuruddin Azizi, the Minister of Industry and Commerce, has emphasized that these organizations should reach out to the deserving people along with the protection and transparency of Islamic and national values. The meeting was held under the chairmanship of Al-Haj Nuruddin Azizi, Acting Minister of Industry and Commerce, with the participation of the officials of 9 domestic institutions, and cooperation agreements were signed in the enterprise sector. In this meeting, the officials of these 9 organizations provided information about the project and the type of their activities. Al-Haj Nuruddin Azizi, after listening to their conversations, emphasized the observance of Islamic principles and transparency in the activities, and asked officials of these organizations that the beneficiaries and deserving people should benefit from these projects. Economic analysts recognize the significance of private sector involvement in economy, but also stress the need to activate the banking and insurance systems. Mainly, 2 things are very important in this issue. One is how it is regulated and how that index is determined for the private sector to provide the national interests of the country. Besides, how it supports these investments, especially for domestic investors, and how conditions are favorable for foreign investors to invest. This agreement marks a significant step, with large amounts of funding being directed towards various organizations in the entrepreneurship sector.
Dr. Muhammad Naeem, the ambassador of the Islamic Emirate in Qatar, participated in the celebration of the 101st anniversary of Turkish National Day, following an official invitation from the Turkish embassy in Qatar. According to Afghan embassy in Doha, the ceremony was also attended by high-ranking officials from Qatar, as well as ambassadors and representatives from various countries and international organizations. Maulavi Fazl Muhammad Haqqani, the head of the Embassy of the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan in Tehran, participated in a joint meeting with Mr. Abbas Araghchi, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Iran. This meeting included ambassadors, chargé d'affaires, and heads of foreign and international missions residing in Tehran. The discussion focused on current changes in the region. Mullah Nuruddin Turabi, the director of the National Disaster Preparedness Agency, and Sirajuddin Sherzad, the director of the Development and Research Organization, signed a memorandum of cooperation. Mr. Turabi welcomed the delegation from the aforementioned organization and emphasized the urgent need for institutions to distribute aid to those in need, particularly as winter approaches. It's noteworthy that after conducting a survey in the districts of Wama, Bargimatal, Kamdesh, Vantvaigal, Kantwa, Nurgram, Wadab, and Mandul districts of Nuristan province, the CDRO organization allocated $207 per family to provide winter supplies to 15,178 deserving families with funding from UNICEF. A competitive examination took place to recruit professionals from the vacant positions at the National Radio and Television of Afghanistan. Officials viewed the recruitment of skilled staff as a top priority for improving the department's performance. We have more details in the report. A competitive examination for recruiting new employees for vacant positions at the National Radio and Television of Afghanistan was held on Wednesday at the department's premises. According to officials, the examination will be conducted in 2 stages, and hiring qualified personalities is one of the department's top priorities.
There are 52 vacancies, of which 3 are provincial and 49 are central. We announced that today is the first stage. The competition has 2 stages. The first is written and the second is oral. Today, fortunately, we are in the writing section where almost 600 people have come.
Participants have welcomed the transparency of the examination. They believe that recruiting qualified individuals will be beneficial for strengthening the system and enhancing the department's work.
Our hope is that, God willing, there will be transparency and the right will be handed over to the rightful. And now when we look at the scene and see the work of the staff, there is transparency, God willing. We ask the government to start exams alike so that the work is entrusted to the ones who deserve it. Our youths deserve it and they have worked hard and now they have to reach to a good position.
Previously, the Afghanistan National Radio and Television Directorate announced vacancies and successfully recruited other new employees through an open competition. The United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, OCHA, announced that Australia has donated $1.3 million to the Afghanistan Humanitarian Fund. This aid will be allocated to assist the most affected individuals. And the final one is that the construction of a check dam has begun in the Karanj region located in the center of Laghman province. The project, which costs over 3 million Afghanis, is being funded with the financial assistance of the World Food Programme, WFP. The dam will be 26 meters long and 4.5 meters high, according to the Ministry of Energy and Water. And that's all for tonight. We will be back with more news updates. Until then, stay tuned. Have a good night.
شهیدانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور ساتوي پسرو وینو دا د شهیدانو کور دا